Hey guys and welcome back to the channel. I'm Zemo, the Dad in DPS, and we are back with another video. Now before we get into it, let's thank our YouTube members: Twice Big Spuds, Golty, Wyatt Blackburn, Wallers Me, David Smith, Diofane Gaming, Fatheaded Druid, Colin G, Gary McKnight, Chris K, Brian RMC and Peggy McKnight. Thank you very much guys, we can't do this without you, and if you'd like to become a YouTube member, click the join link down below, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. So, with the new update, we have received quite a lot of new stuff. We've got the new Steel Rain storyline, we've got legendary crafting, new effects, legendary cores to farm, and overall the game has been a lot more active than it has been for the past while. I'm seeing nukes dropping constantly, events, especially public ones, are having a massive inundation of people, and overall it's felt like it was going quite well. However, all the positives to this new patch have been overshadowed by one massive, glaring problem: server instability. Now, speaking very much as a PC player, the server instability has been quite bad. Some servers you go into and you can do nothing but just move rubber band back, and it just repeatedly happens, and all you get is server response halted or whatever the crap it says, and it's been kind of annoying, I'll be honest. It's frustrating when you're trying to play the game, especially when I'm trying to record content for you guys to make videos, and it just overall makes it incredibly difficult to get anything meaningful out of playtime. On top of that, it gives me worries about tonight's stream in general, so it's something that I'll go a little bit into later, that I need to think about, and we need to figure out what to do. But the biggest problem with the server instability is the cause. Now, primarily the cause for it, when it first came up, was duping. People were mass duping items and using the method that I'm not going to go into, even though I know what it is, just to crash the server and then get their items back and create new items. Overall, douchebags. There's quite a lot of douchebags in this game sometimes, and it's people that probably are selling these items for real world money and not caring about the consequences of it. And the consequences of things like this is that if the servers are constantly crashing, who's playing? Who's buying their items? So I can't understand the logic of these people. I can understand the logic of people just doing it to be assholes more, but that's not the case with this. It's people doing it for some sort of financial or monetary gain, most likely, and quite frankly, they sicken me, and I hope they suffer eternally. Now, since that information first came out involving the dupe, Bethesda has put a hotfix and it seemed to get better. However, the servers are still rather unstable. Now, I don't know if that is a long-term issue and there is problems with the servers themselves, or the servers were damaged during the duping, but I am noticing quite a lot of issues, and it could be that there is another dupe in play that has not been discovered yet by Bethesda's team and has not been fixed. So in a lot of cases, what I would recommend in regards to this is you're probably better off spending time in private servers with people you trust, because you know they're not going to mess with the server, and you're not going to have your game time ruined or your enjoyment ruined by a myriad of problems. Don't get me wrong, even when I was on my own in my private server, there were some server issues, but nowhere near as much as I've been discovering on heavily active servers, especially ones that are dropping nukes, which is a problem because that is kind of the bread and butter of the game, isn't it? Getting nukes, fighting the big bosses, and getting some great loot. So yeah, it's a very frustrating time for people playing Fallout 76. Now, on top of the server issues, there is a lot of bugs that have started cropping up that I've noticed quite frequently and frustratingly for me, involving crafting. Now, if you don't know what's been going on with that, quite a lot of people are getting stuck in their crafting workbenches. More often than not, when I go to craft ammo, I end up standing still like a complete idiot, and it can go two ways. You can either be able to fast travel out of it and you're fine, or for some reason in some of my characters they start falling from no height, and they can't move or do anything. So always be aware of that. If you go crafting, there's a good chance that you might get frozen out of the game and have to relog. If that happens, yeah, that's the only option you've got. Now, on top of that, there is also the bug that I recently exposed involving crafting itself, where you can accidentally craft a load of low-level weapons if you bulk craft them on PC, all to do with the cursor placement, and I will link that video down below if you're interested in watching it, so that you can avoid getting caught out. It only really matters if you're using the mouse on PC and you're bulk crafting weapons. But yeah, very frustrating. I've heard quite a few people have been caught out by this and legendary crafted a few weapons, so yeah, there's a lot of stuff getting lost in regards to that, and Bethesda will not refund any cores or modules lost by this bug, because, well, I don't know why, because they told me they didn't have the tools, but I don't buy that for a second. If some idiot can spawn in items that don't exist, then Bethesda surely can. So yeah, I very much doubt it's to do with the limitations of what they can do, and more the limitations of what they will do. So that was basically the kind of gist of the video. I just wanted to keep people aware of what's going on in the game, and that there is a lot of issues going on at the moment. And I'm sure Bethesda's aware of it, they're trying to deal with it, but it's frustrating, it really is. And I honestly want to hear what you guys think in regard to that, because are you playing as much as you would be if there weren't all these issues? It's definitely killing my motivation to play when I keep getting stuttered and lagged, and when I'm just randomly trying to do something, it comes up with server problems. On top of that, I am streaming at 9 o'clock BST, or I think that's 5 o'clock Eastern time tonight. And if the server issues persist, what I might do is just go into my private server, try and get as many people that usually come along to jump in with me, and then we can bounce between each of those private servers and then just drop nukes that way, which seems probably the easiest way to avoid any outside parties interfering with the stream. And not that they'll be deliberately doing it, I don't think I'm that important for people to bother to go into that effort, but more a case of if there are people in the server doing something dodgy, I'd rather not get caught up in their BS, but maybe that's just me. And if you do come along for the stream, be aware that you might not get into the private worlds I go into if I do decide to do that, because the last thing I want to do is for you guys to see several hours of me getting frustrated at the lack of being able to play properly. But that's pretty much that. So guys, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like, a comment and subscribe, and hit that join link down below to support the channel further by becoming a YouTube member. And yeah, catch my stream tonight. I've already got it loaded up, so it should be ready to go when it hits 9 o'clock my time, and we'll have some fun, drop some nukes and chat away. I really encourage people to come along because I enjoy speaking to you guys and just generally hanging out. But we'll leave that and we'll catch you next time in the Wasteland.